Hey everybody, we're back. Uh, Alright, so I started a second recording, but that recording got deleted, so um, I went ahead and played to the exact spot we ended before. The only difference between where we ended the first video and where we started this video is that we got the Berserker Sword instead of uh, the Swift Sword of Slaying. This is actually a better sword. It gives us plus 4% weapon strength and a charge bonus of 7. So we'll take it. Alright. Now, I did also turn the advisor down. I was told by one of my viewers that they wanted to hear more of me and less of the advisor, so that's what we'll go with. If you remember, we just got a unit of Temple Guard and a Bastiladon solar engine. So we're going to go ahead and attack these Skeggi barbarians, and we'll see what these guys can do on the battlefield. So, alright, we're going to fight it just to show you the units. This should go real quick. And I did want to clarify a few things that I had stated previously in my first video that was incorrect. First thing, I was explaining skirmish mode. I said if units are firing at you. Really, it's if units are coming at your ranged units, whether those units coming at your ranged units are ranged or, you know, foot infantry or cavalry. If you're in skirmish, your ranged units will run away from those units attacking them. Another thing I called chaos dwarves, dark dwarves. I just mixed up my genres. That was D&D talk, and I meant Chaos Dwarfs, which is, of course, the Warhammer world. And then I was trying to explain experience and how it works in this game. Basically, what I meant to say was a lower tier, high experience unit, so let's say a rank 9 Saurus Warrior, may be able to take out a rank 1 higher tier unit such as a Temple Guard. So I kind of misexplained that last video. I do apologize. I want to clear all that up before we got going here. We are going to gamble. That will either increase or decrease our wins of magic, so let's do it. And okay, we won our gamble. We got 3 extra wins of magic. We're going to go ahead and set up our line here. Again, I always have Lord as 1, my infantry as 2. I see these guys hiding here. They're trying to take the high ground, so we're just going to walk right through the forest at them. We're not going to play around. Infantry front, as usual. I have my ranged as 3, and we're going to have them in skirmish mode. We're going to keep our cavalry on the left flank here. We're just going to try and circle around and try and do a little hammer and anvil. And just for fun, I'm going to show you guys the Bastiladon solar engine if I can. So let's go ahead and get this battle rolling here. I just enjoy how this unit looks. It's really cool. Basically, you know, a giant plated dinosaur with a solar beam on his back. So let's see him in action before we dedicate all of the rest of our troops to battle. They're rushing us, and boom! There we go. That was a nice hit. Okay, so again, as I explained previously, when you are attacking, if you group your units together and you click to attack one unit, each unit will attack the closest unit to it. So they won't all attack the same unit. They'll actually attack different units, which is really nice. That helps ease up on micromanaging. We're going to move our cold ones over here. We're just going to have the Bastiladon blasting away at these guys. And we're going to move Mazdamundi right about here, because that'll be out of fire line. But we're going to cast this Harmonic Convergence. As you can see, it gives a plus 26 melee attack and plus 27 melee defense. That's really going to help our units out. So we're going to cast it on these Saurus Warriors attacking the Lord. That should help them out. These Temple Guard We're going to try and get them right into the thick of the melee over there, because they are our best infantry unit. These cold ones I had on March, so that's a problem. So they're going to go ahead and chase down the Chaos Marauders. That should be no problem. And then this Apotheosis, not only does it increase the hit point regeneration of a unit, but it also will cause fear. So I went ahead and cast that on one of these Saurus warriors fighting the enemy lord. And as you can see, the little white banner over his head, that means he's already fleeing the battle. He's basically called it quits already. Again, our skinks aren't throwing their javelins because our infantry are engaged in melee, and our cold ones are they are scaring the Jesus out of these Marauder horsemen all the way off the map. And as you can see, this little skull means a unit is shattered. That means no matter what, that unit's going to run away. So we're going to dedicate these units to these Chaos Marauders. They are only broken. They are not shattered, as you can see right there on the little card. And just to prove it, there you go. So there's the shatter. They are running away. And Bastiladon's just having a grand old time, just blowing up barbarians left and right. Those Marauder horsemen, not worried about them at all. I will, however, take my skinks just to go head them off. In fact, we are going to send everyone to go attack these guys, because at this point they are just getting annoying. And hopefully our Bastiladon might be able to get a pot shot off or two at him. Oh, looks like the Lord is trying to rally himself. As you can see, the gray bar up there, that is his leadership, is slowly coming back. But with this Bastiladon chasing, and we'll throw Mazdamundi in for fun, he shouldn't be able to do anything. He should be terrified out of his mind and keep running away. Okay, he's shattered. This unit I'm not even worried about. We'll just take him out right here like this. Alright, let's just speed this up, because that was really only to demonstrate the Bastiladon with the solar engine. And oddly enough, the slowest unit, there we go. Cold one's finally caught him. Okay, good. So there we go. But that is the Bastiladon with the solar engine. I hope you enjoyed that. I always enjoy seeing a dinosaur shoot a laser beam, so I would expect you guys would too. Alright, we don't really have much to replenish here. You see we have most of our units, so I'm going to go ahead and take the experience. We want to level up our units when at all possible. So we kill that Lord. We have the Plaque of Dominion. Research rate +5 faction-wide. Untainted. That means any vampiric, chaotic, or Skaven corruption will be reduced by 5 per turn, so that is awesome. And then the Plaque of Dominion gives a -8% leadership hex around the hero for 20 seconds. Now this is at least to me, I've never seen this before, a new arcane item, so that's pretty cool. And as you saw, we have a right unlocked, the Right of Ferocity. So for those of you new to Total War Warhammer 2, there are things called rights. They're right here in the lower right hand screen. If you click on it, each race in Total War Warhammer 2 has 4 rights that they can choose from. And as you can see, they have different things that they need in order to be performed. So for instance, the Rite of Awakening, it's a 10 turn cooldown, so once you use it, it takes 10 turns, and you need the Star Chamber to build it. For the Rite of Ferocity, it lasts for 5 turns, and it's a 20 turn cooldown. During that period, all of your units gain 80% experience per turn. All of your new recruits have a +2 chevron, so they're automatically coming out of the gate level 2 instead of level 0. You get a plus 25% post-battle loot amount. As you saw, you gain gold every time you win a battle, so you just increase that. And then local recruitment capacity, that means, let's say you are trying to recruit 20 units and you have a local recruitment capacity of 3. Well, for those 5 turns, you will have a recruitment capacity of 4, meaning you get to recruit 4 units per turn instead of 3, as long as they only take 1 turn to recruit. And I'll explain that later. Higher tier units can take, 2, 3, 4 turns to recruit, which is based on the level of that unit. Let's go ahead and perform this right. I just kind of want you guys to see this. So very cool. So now our units are going to get a lot more experience. That's good. It's going to make them tougher in combat, and once we finally take out this monolith of the fallen gods, it will actually give us more gold for that battle, so that's good. Down here we have unassigned skill point for Mazdamundi. I'm going to go ahead and choose campaign movement, and then I probably won't touch this blue bar for an extremely long period of time. I don't care about upkeeps of units, things like that. I want Mazdamundi to have all the spells, so we're going to go ahead and go that route. Sorry if you don't like it, that's just how I like to play, especially spellcasters, but Mazdamundi has some really good spells, so we're going to need those in some of the battles coming up here. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves tonight, or today, or this afternoon, whatever you might be doing, whenever you might be doing it. Alright, so we see Lost Erickson. He's trying to come for us. He only got 9 units. We have 13. I'm not really worried about him at all. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so I told you I'd explain this balance of power bar a little bit more in the last video. You see the yellow here, that or orange, that is your chance of victory in the battle. The red is the enemy's chance of victory in the battle. Since we have such a high percentage chance of victory, I'm just going to go ahead and auto-resolve this one. We would just slaughter this army. That's no fun to watch, so let's go ahead and auto-resolve it. Now, a lot of the time, you will lose a few more troops than if you fought it yourself, but again, for time's sake, it's kind of boring to watch a battle where you know you're going to win, so we'll just go ahead and auto-resolve it. And, this may be unfavorable to some, but I'm going to loot and occupy, because not only am I going to get plus 10 unit replenishment, but I'm also going to get 391 gold. I get negative 30 public order for 1 turn in the province, but whatever. Okay, so we have the scroll of bleaching. Alright, and we got 1,000 gold for taking over a Skeggi settlement, and we got 8 ancient plaques. So, again, I told you I'd explain that. I will explain that after we read this mission. Purge them from Yukonaduzat. Maintain control of 1 province, either by direct ownership or through vassals and military allies. Lord Mazdamundi, you are wise indeed. We cannot let the Warmbloods prosper in our realms. Taking back 1 temple city is not enough. We must purge the entire realm. So, our next mission is going to be to take over the Ziggurat of Dawn, because that is the last city in this province. Also, you see here this little orange plaque. It's explaining right there for you. Multiple buildings of this type exist in this province. So what that means is we have 2 of the same building, obviously. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this one, and here's my logic. This is a tier 3 maximum building. The capital cities can go up to level 5. Smaller cities can only go up to level 3. And since this building can only go up to level 3, we're going to build it here, because there are higher tier buildings, as you see here, where they start at 3 and then they go to 4 or 5, that need to be built in a larger city such as Hexoatl. So we want to reserve as much higher tier building space as possible for these cities. So I'm going to go ahead and demolish this building. We're going to get 600 gold for it. I'm going to repair this building. Yes, it was damaged because I looted it. Big deal. I wanted the replenishment. And then repair this. And then one more thing that I did not do last time, I do apologize, a gold mining pit. As you can see, we're going to reduce the recruitment costs of croc scores, temple guards, and cold ones, and increase our income by 300 turns. So that's huge. So let's go ahead and do that. And I believe, oh, we have another skill point. Now we're just gonna roll with the spells now. It's game on for Mazdamundi. And that is the end of our turn. Alright, so I'd be surprised if he went to the Ziggurat of Dawn. But that's where he's going, okay. Alright, well, we can win that battle. I'm not worried about that. Alright, so mission issued, knowledge of the stars. Ensure one of the following buildings has been constructed. I'm not going to read all those. The interpretation of the Great Plan over the millennia is dense and complex. Some knowledge has regretfully been lost. We must discover forgotten lore and fathom new methods of warfare against the Warmbloods. Construction of this building will allow us to begin. Alright, so any one of these 8 buildings will allow us to start researching technologies. The way lizardmen begin their research is by building certain buildings. So that is basically what they're trying to get us to do. Alright, and then septic discordance. Maintain at least 10 public order in the following province. The Isthmus of Lustria, that is our current province that we have 2 cities in. Master, while your every thought and whim is law, the comet flying so low has had an unnerving effect on some spawnkin. They dare question your interpretation of the Great Plan. Such discordance must be dealt with. Restore public order. Alright, so that's going to take us a while since we're at negative 88 and going down another 9. But hopefully we can change that. Oh, as you can see, we have a negative 15 public order. That means we're going to have a rebellion next turn. But again, Hexoatl is extremely well defended, and normally when a rebellion begins, it starts at the capital city. So as you see here, we have 2 temple guards, 4 Sora's warriors with shields, 4 skink cohorts with javelins, a feral bastille down, 2 croc scores, and a pterodon rider. So good luck trying to break into there anytime soon. I will go ahead and build the underground lagoon this turn, and that's because it's going to give us Saurus spears and Saurus warriors. These guys are really tanky, especially for front end low tier units, so that's definitely, we want to build that. And then everything else doesn't look like we can build anything that we really care about. I guess we can build an old one monument for now. We want to restore some public order. We're going to tear that down eventually though to make room for one of these higher tier buildings, but for right now we can use that. Alright, and then it's telling you there's an imminent rebellion here, but again, not worried about it. Ooh, Skaven on the move. It's interesting. Alright. So there's rebellion. If we look here, oh, what do you know? It's a Slicin'. That is the name of the Skaven warlord here. Let's see. Oh, we can already upgrade the underground lagoon, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to make it the Sacred Spawning Caverns. This is going to allow us to build Saurus warriors with shields and Saurus spears with shields. Those are much better units than these base ones down here. And it's going to unlock a technology. So let's go ahead and do that. And while we are ignoring our little rebellion, we're going to go ahead and take over the Ziggurat of Dawn. Alright, again, this is a really easy battle, as you can see. I don't want to waste time on this one. I will show you what killing Skaven is like next, but we're going to save time on this. As you can see, we took a few more casualties than we probably would have just fighting it, but that's what happens sometimes. This one, we're just going to go ahead and occupy. I don't want the public order to get ridiculous. Here we go, trait gained. This is another cool thing in Total War Warhammer 2. As you notice in Total War Warhammer 1, your lord or hero would gain or lose certain traits, you know, either negatively or positively based on what they did, but it didn't really tell you what you had to do to get that. This is really neat. It shows you a bar, and you know, every time you go in a certain direction, it will show you just how to get to the next level of that trait, and sometimes a trait gets maxed out. For this one, we have plus 5 leadership when fighting Chaos and Norska. That's going to be useful later on, so good. Alright, now we have control of 1 province. We have a treasury of 2,000 extra gold, so that's good. And then we have 7 ancient plaques. So, alright, now we need to issue a commandment. Harmonic Concordance. Lord Mazdamundi, with all nodes in this province now under your direct influence, you have achieved harmony. Issue a commandment, all will obey. So, as I told you before, the geomantic web affects your commandments, and let me show you what I meant when I was explaining that. So there are 4 different commandments lizardmen can use. This one, crafting, monuments, order, and war. As you can see, this one gives you weapon strength, unit experience, recruitment costs lowered, and leadership to local armies. This one basically helps with campaign map things and if you are being besieged. This one helps with your winds of magic and your research, and this one helps with public order growth and income. I almost always go with the crafting because public order is hard to maintain, and income is always a good thing. Also, I don't know if I told you, but I am playing the battles and the campaign on hard. I'm sorry it's not very hard or legendary, but I haven't played a full playthrough of these campaigns yet, so I can't really play on that level just because I don't know what to expect. So I do apologize. I know, weak excuse. But getting back to Geomantic Web, you can see here, first level, we have Public Order +1, Growth +10, Income +2. You see there's 5 levels. Now at the 5th level, you get Public Order +4 per turn, Growth +40 per turn, and Income +8% per turn. That is a huge difference that I think is a really cool idea for the Lizardmen. As you can see, here's the Geomantic Web. So, you know, it even shows you, okay, well, if you want to increase the strength of this Geomantic Web, here's the cities you need to go to. I just really think they did a good job with that. And then the last thing I'm going to explain for this video before I let you guys go, and then the next video we're really going to get into just playing and not explaining things. We'll just kind of assume that you know then. But this ritual currency, these ancient plaques, they go towards the rituals to affect the vortex out here in Ulthuan. So there's the vortex. You know, it harnesses all of the winds of magic, making sure that chaos can't just rip through the mortal plane and take over the world. And every race, as you can see, you have Lothern, Nagorond, and Clan Moors. That's the High Elves, Dark Elves, and Skaven are all in this with us. So each race is vying for control of the vortex, and they all have 5 rituals, 5 vortex rituals that they need to complete. Every time you start a ritual, chaos armies show up, and it's just not good. So you need to be prepared, but you also need the proper amount of ritual currency. Right now, this ritual of prognostication requires 350 ancient plaques, we have 21, so we are a long ways off of that. But again, that is something we're going to work towards, and obviously you'll see as we go along. Just a really cool thing they did, I think, with the vortex and the whole idea of how important it is to the Warhammer world. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to pick a skill point, and then that'll be it for today. Alright, so we have 4 spells here. I am going to take the Net of Amantok. Nobody's going to tell me different. It doesn't matter what you say. Net of Amantok is amazing. Basically what it does is it roots enemies in place for 30 seconds. So, you know, basically you cast that and then you can encircle entire units of the enemy. It really is a game-changing type spell if used properly. Which I probably won't, but that's neither here nor there. So that is why I chose that spell. Alright, and then one last thing, I totally did forget to choose the commandment. So we're going to go for crafting. We want that public order. Also, we want that growth. I explained growth in the previous video. But, you know, again, the more growth points you have, the better. As you can see, we want to get this upgraded up to level 5 as soon as possible. At least that's how I play. I need 2 population surplus in order to do that. If you can see over in the left hand corner, it shows we have a growth of plus 50 per turn, and we need 125 for 1 population surplus over there on the left hand side, in that green circle that now says 0. So it'll, once it passes 125, it'll reset itself, and I have plus 1 population surplus, so it'll say 1 in that green circle, and then it'll keep going up to how many ever you have until you spend those population surplus points. So that is why I like the alignment of crafting. You get the public order and the growth, and not to mention the income. Like I said, lizardmen units are very expensive, so we're going to want to go ahead and do that. But next episode, first thing, you know, the first thing on our docket is to take care of slicing here. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And then we're going to try and focus on taking out Skeggi over here. They're looking pretty ripe for the plucking as well. So, alright, well, I will catch you all in the next episode. Have a good night. Bye.